All right, guys. So I'm here with Graham Parham, one of our preferred lenders. Graham, thank you so much for doing the video with me today.
Oh, you're welcome, James. I'm glad to be here.
All right, guys. So Graham and I are both going to be in La Jolla. If you're in the California area and you can drive over to La Jolla if you live nearby, March 11th from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. At the Hilton there. There's more information at turnkeyinvest.com. Graham, tell us some of the benefits of using a preferred lender like yourself when buying a turnkey property with our company.
Well, one of the things that I like to preface up front to the newbie, as you will, because a lot of people are just now getting into the investment world and they're really green. They just really don't know what to do. So I try to guide them through the whole event, but mainly I tell them that I'm an investor. All I do is work with investors. Been doing it for roughly 20 plus years. And I've been an investor myself for about 15. So for some reason, people like that. They can relate to that because I just tell them, I said, you're going to get two hats. One as a loan officer, another one as an investor. And as an investor, I can only give you my opinion. One of the things about working with our company is that we are working with turnkey model loans. We embrace those loans where others do not. Reason being is because back in the 2008 mortgage meltdown, the Fannie Mae made a guideline adjustment because of builders, not rehabbers, because there was a lot of builders out there doing some building scams. And one of the things they said is they don't like to have a management or should I say the seller managing a property post-close once they sell the property, which you and I both know that's a benefit. And that's what people are looking for. They're looking for the true turnkey model. And, having an underwriter to interpret that guideline sometimes can be a bit of a challenge. So probably maybe 10 or 15% of the companies out there really know how to do these loans where others don't. And if you don't get with the right lender, then you're going to have problems. And we have our own.
How many loans have you done for turnkey houses?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's all we do is work with turnkey providers. We have our own appraisal panels in every market that we're in. And we have a select panel there in Memphis, Tennessee, just to make sure we have the correct appraisers doing these approaches to the property. So we rarely miss any appraisals. Our system's set up like a well-oiled machine. Our average turn time, once we get the contract, is usually 21 to 30 days. So we can get those knocked out pretty quickly.
How many turnkey loans do you think you've done in your career, if you had to guess?
Oh, gosh. Last year I did about 500. So we'll do roughly 50, 60 loans a month, all turnkeys.
Right.
And
so it'd be safe to say if it's happened, you've seen it and you know what.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And if you're doing an exchange, I can't begin to tell you how many people will mess up on the exchange, the lender. They just don't understand the nature of the beast of exchanges. So if you're doing a 1031 exchange and you're coming to James and he wants to fill your plate up, give me a call. We'll walk through the whole exchange process.
Yeah, there's a lot of nuances in our business that people don't think about. For one, let's talk about how you use a portion of the gross rent towards income so that you're able to buy that fifth and 10th house.
Yeah, I always tell people, if you can afford to do one, you can afford to do 10. And they're all income properties. They all talk to each other and they all offset the liabilities on each one of the properties. As an example, if you buy a property, say for $100,000, and if you come close to the 1%, you're going to get a $1,000 rent. We're going to give you 75% of that rent as $750. When you take a 20% down on that particular sales price, your principal and interest, tax, and insurance is going to be roughly in the low sixes. So you got a $750 rent. You got the sixes here. You've actually gained income. So it's only going to help your debt to income ratio. And you just do that one over and over and over. So it's real easy.
Well, a lot of people watching this video might think, and a lot of people think I work with all multi-millionaires. And that's just not the case. I've got a lot of millennials investing, which is very encouraging to the future of our country. And people that are, not making huge incomes. If you're going with a lender that doesn't count a portion of the rent towards your income, then eventually your debt to income ratio doesn't allow you to borrow past house number X. So this is where using someone like Graham is extremely beneficial. I've got a young couple and their total household income is $120,000. Like most of my investors, they live in a part of the country that, real estate's just too expensive to invest in. And they're on their third property here in Memphis. So that's exciting to see.
Yeah, I can't begin to tell you how many people I have that actually live in California. They can't afford to buy in California. And they always come to me and say, should I go ahead and buy my primary residence and jack my payment up to like 3,000, 4,000 a month? Is that going to affect my debt to income ratio? Absolutely. Go fill your plate up with rental properties. Go build that extra cash flow. That'll help you when you buy your primary. But more importantly, like you're talking about the millennials love our company because all of our systems are online. You can do it from your cell phone, any kind of a portable device. You can check your loan in real time throughout the whole process. They love it, just the way millennials think, of course. But yeah, people, I mean, these guys, these kids who graduate college are getting some nice income working at these tech companies, and they still live at home with mom and dad.
Right.
So why not fill your plate up?
So how much has your phone been ringing off the hook with the recent adjustment in the Dow?
It's crazy. It's crazy. They have come down nicely, and that's benefits everybody that's investing right now. If you're looking to do some refinances, give me a call. It's all about dollars and cents. A lot of the ones that have bought the property, say in the last 6 months to a year, they may not benefit because it's a little too early. But if you've owned your property a couple, 3 years, you're sitting in the fives or greater, yeah, give me a call. I mean, if you can save $100 to $150 on a refinance, it's worth it regardless of regardless of the rate. That's the bottom line. But as far as investor rates, we just dipped below 4% on a 25% down. So now we're at like 3.875. On a 20%, we're probably 4 3/8. I mean, those are crazy rates. I've been doing loans for so long. Anything below 7% is a good rate on investor rates. And now here we are in the threes. Are you kidding me? So yeah, it's a good time to buy.
So what kind of rates are you seeing right now for that $100,000 property we kind of mentioned earlier?
Yeah, on a 25% down, today we're at 3.875. And on a 20% down, we're at 4.375. So
Perfect.
I hear that it's going to go a little bit further, but we'll see.
Do you have a
I think that
15% down loan program that requires PMI?
we do those. Yeah. On paper, I can show you that I don't prefer it. Doesn't make sense, but we have done them from time to time because because the rate sometimes can be just a hair bit higher, but when you factor in the PMI and you weigh that against the 5% and see how long it's going to take for you to recoup it, a lot of times it just doesn't make sense, but I'll still let that be the decision of the borrower.
Well, so recently we've been selling some really high-end executive level rentals, $200,000, $250,000. In that case, might it make sense to look at a 15% down?
It depends on your cash. Depends on
Right.
what you have on hand. I'm sure that you have enough. If you don't have enough cash or just don't feel comfortable putting 20% down on that, we'll certainly do the 15%. And as far as the reserves are concerned, if you have like a 401k or even something non-liquid, we can use that for reserves.
Well, I hear your phone ringing. I know you're a busy guy. You always think, well, everybody knows what I'm about to ask, the most simple of it all. But could you just do the short commercial to explain what the Fannie Mae Freddie Mac program is that we all have 10 available to us? I call them our golden tickets.
Golden tickets. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac is your most optimum rates and terms available for investment properties today, bar none. We do underwrite 3 categories: your credit, how much money you have, and how much money you make. It's that simple. When we get the application, we ask you for the documentation to support the income and assets like tax returns and bank statements. The rest is math. If we just take all of your total income, take whatever kind of liabilities you have, we divide that into it. As long as it stays within that 50% debt to income ratio, we approve the loan all day. The only part of the other piece of that equation is the collateral, which is the appraisal. The appraisal comes in as is on the money at the contract. We close the loan.
So everybody that is an American citizen has 10. My Canadian, my Israeli, my Russian investors would die for this program. And the reason I call them the golden tickets is you have 10. If you have your personal home, you can purchase 9 rental properties with as little as 20% down. That is just unheard of across the world. And then if your spouse is gainfully employed, there's another 9 or 10. And it's
Exactly. That's exactly what I have. Partners coming to me all the time, husbands and wives. First thing I ask, does the wife work? Yes. Great. How much does she make? Great. Well, let's do you first. Let's do her second, whatever the case may be. And so they maximize that 20 loans potential. Now, the guidelines have changed. We can actually put them, let's say the husband did it first. we can still put the wife on title. She's not on loan, but she's still on title. And that just gives her peace of mind. In community states, it doesn't matter anyway, but it didn't used to be that way. So now we can put her in title. And then once you get to a certain level, if you want to do some asset protection, you can go that route. And they're a lot more lenient today, allowing for that, but that is a post-close workaround.
Sure. And I get people asking all the time, well, I want to put this in my LLC's name. If you're doing a Fannie Mae Freddie Mac loan, it will go in your personal name. So I always
Correct.
like to clarify that with people. Yeah, well, that's good information. You know, if you're just getting started or if you're looking to add to your portfolio, you know, reach out to me and the team. We'll hook you up with Graham Parham. He's you know, tons of experience. Real quickly, Graham, you used to live in Memphis.
Born and raised.
Wow. That's
And
cool.
I told you earlier that I used to sell cable TV door to door. So I probably knocked on all those doors you're selling.
Right. Back then, the cable box was you slid it.
Yeah, with the little slide at the top. That does. Yeah, that's right. That's what I used to sell.
Had 100 channels back then. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. All good.
Well, look, so March 11th from 5 p.m. to 9 o'clock, if you're in the La Jolla area, come to see us. It's a free event. One night we'll have drinks and hors d'oeuvres. We'll talk about Memphis. We'll talk about me and my team. We'll hook you up with a great lender like Graham. And then May 15th and 16th, we're having our big event here in Memphis, Tennessee. We have 50 investors coming to town, mostly people that have purchased from us in the past and referrals from those clients. So we have a few spots remaining. We have limited seating on the bus and in the event space. So if you have any interest in coming to the La Jolla event, March 11th, or the May event, May 15th and 16th, Graham will be here for that as well. We look forward to meeting you. Thank you so much for your time, Graham.
Good enough. We'll see you then.